Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Ultimate Style Wrestlemania main event review. I'm sure I'll try to shorten it down in the future, but our showcase, I think is what I originally said it was going to be called. The showcase Ultimate Style Wrestlemania review. So if you followed it, you know we've already done WrestleMania 1 and 2. I told you I was going to skip 3 because 3 is not anything that's needed because you can get Andre the Giant and you can get Hulk Hogan from Mattel. There's no custom work involved in that. So, and you can get Macho Man Randy Savage, not necessarily the version for the main event accuracy, but you can still get an Ultimate Macho Man Randy Savage. There's quite a few out there. Obviously, I have a few of the Mattel Creation crowdfunders, but you can also get other ones. But what you don't have is you don't have his opponent from WrestleMania 4, unless you do this and create your own. Now, I originally had gotten a Ted DiBiase from somebody else. He had the bigger kind of chest torso, a little bit of chest hair, but it was like a little tan. Plus, you could see that they switched out the legs, but there was still a huge difference in the thigh right here is really white compared to the leg was tan. So I sent that one to my custom painter to actually be turned into a Shane Douglas because I felt like it just didn't look good. It needed to be overhauled. So early on into my building of Ultimates, I decided to get my Ted DiBiase. You're going to need an elite Ted DiBiase. If you want to do the decals yourself or paint yourself, I just basically took the elite torso off, took an Austin torso, glued it on there like I do with almost everything I do. The Austin torso has gone up in value because I think I've taken out all the cheaper market version. At one time, he was hard to sell. People weren't wanting him, but now they've seen how much you can do with him, and now I'm starting to see so many formulas. I saw somebody literally copying my Charlie Haas design, which I'm okay with that. I mean, he switched that. He did he did different head. He kept the Cena boots. I'm perfectly fine with that. In fact, I told him I'm going to steal your Michael Tarver design because you're doing it in elite form. I'm going to steal it. I'm going to make it into an ultimate somehow. So I've pretty much bought the parts. I'll be making him in the future. But Ted DiBiase is basically an unrecognized world champion of WWF. He did get the belt. When he bought it off of Andre the Giant, he actually had a week and he defended it against Bam Bam Bigelow. And it said under his banner, it said WWF champion Ted DiBiase. $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase. So even though WWE does not recognize it for whatever reason, this man did actually hold physically the belt for a week and did defend it like it was actually his. So I don't know why they omit it from that or omit him from. I know that because of recent scandals, it's probably best that he's not mentioned anymore, and he really isn't mentioned the same light anymore. So you're not going to see a lot of Ted DiBiase's because he went through that huge Ponzi COVID ripoff scheme thing. But if you need a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase for to recreate WrestleMania 4, or you want start to build a corporation, then you're going to need to build your own because I just don't see him getting Mattel released anytime soon, especially with the recent atrocities that he has been accused of or found guilty of. I don't follow people's personal lives too much. I just know that when I watched the OSW review, they mentioned it and whatnot, and that's their thing. They can do that. I'm here to build wrestling figure personalities. I don't care what the person does outside of their wrestling persona. That's their life. Let them live their life. I remember them from a certain time. Now, of course, I wasn't alive. I was alive. I was like 2 when this happened. This main event happened. So naturally, I have no memories of it. I have seen it in its entirety. And that was a very long WrestleMania. Kind of cool fact they did a tournament. Very different. And you had Hogan and Andre not even be in the main event. It was an underdog of, Ted DiBiase was buying his way through it, basically, cheating his way through. And Macho Man, had 3 different attires that night. Will we see more Macho Man? I don't know. Apparently the contract is expired. The family wants more money probably or wants different, benefits or rights. And Lanny was handling all that stuff. He died off. Poffo passed away. So now it goes to whoever's next. And if they just see dollar signs with Macho's name, if they have no connection with Macho Man, which could be the case. You know, some of these family members out there in the world don't have like a almost like a desire to want to help fans or help someone stay alive unless the money's right for them. But I don't know the deals. Point is, you want to build a Ted DiBiase, you're going to need either decals and good painting, or get his elite. It can run you anywhere from $40 or $50. Austin torsos are running $50 now. Sometimes you get lucky and find one for $45. Sometimes you get lucky. I found for $60 I got an Austin and a Rock Elite. Turned around, sold the Rock Elite for like $20. So I mean that way I offset it by $20. So I got $40. The nice thing though is this Austin torso is pretty much universal on a lot of people, and you'll see like when I showed the Gunther, if you watch my other page with Imperium, literally that's 3 Austin torsos. So while people say the torso is terrible for Austin, it works for so many people. Gives him a little bit of bulk to him. Yeah, he doesn't have any like chest hair and whatnot. Sometimes he did have like a little bit of visible chest hair. Sometimes he didn't. I'm not too worried about it. With the whole fact that we might be losing tattoos on certain figures because of copyright artist renders, that's going to change the game when it comes to a lot of the new wrestlers, because a lot of new wrestlers have tattoos, and if they can't put them on there, then they're always going to be incomplete unless you have decals or unless you know someone can put the tattoo on there for them. So, not the hardest thing to do. He is from WrestleMania 4 main event. I'm going to skip WrestleMania 5 because it's just a Hogan and a Savage. 6, Hogan and a Warrior. 7, Hogan and Sergeant Slaughter, which we had the exclusive Sergeant Slaughter from that San Diego Comic-Con. You got that one too. I will, however, be back for WrestleMania 8 because I do have Hogan's opponent for that main event. So stay tuned.